We welcome you to Blues Game Day Live here from Washington, D.C. This is called the nation's capital. Alongside Joe Vitale, I am Darren Pang. After a fine meal last night at Filomeno's in Georgetown, Italian food, Joe.
That was great.
I've eaten a lot of Italian food since you've joined the broadcast crew here.
Yeah. Well, the guys always ask, hey, where are we going for dinner? And I know some Italian spots around
Yes, you
town.
do.
They had the big portions last night,
Huge
too.
portions for
Wow.
the little guy.
We should have thought about
Maybe.
splitting.
We should have for sure.
And then the bill would have been knocked down a little bit, too. It was
But
like,
we did walk around the White House lawn.
yeah, we were there
Took
for
a
that.
couple of good photos of
did.
that, and that was a lot of fun. We had a snowball fight. Just updating you on our travels, because I think the people in St. Louis really enjoy that.
I think they do.
And on Twitterverse and what have you. But the snowball fight was good.
It was great. Yeah, good moment. We were coming back
We didn't
to the
see
hotel.
Donald, though.
No Donald, but we saw the White House, and we told our Uber driver, please stop.
Yep.
We want to get out. We had a snowball fight and a good little shot in front of the White House. Good memory.
Yeah, really good memory. Blues got some good memories as well, too, Joe.
Yeah, they're playing well.
Won their last three on the road and have absolutely dominated. They've scored 9 and only given up 2 in that time. What have you seen different?
You know, I think that we're seeing a team that is trusting the goaltending. You know what I mean? I think that you're seeing a goaltender in Jordan Binnington, and even Jake Allen, for the most part, has been really solid on the road here. It'll be interesting to see if we see him here tonight in Washington. But I think you're looking at a collective group that is trusting the goaltending, trusting the big saves, and that's allowing the team to really play strong in front of them, keep everything to the outside. And you know, I just want to get your thoughts on it, but it seems like a team that's really starting to pull for each other. You know, our team's really coming together. At least that's what it looks like.
I like the way the trust is a big word in any kind of team sport, and you're right. At the beginning of the year, I think everybody was trying to, do the right thing, but maybe do someone else's job. You know, I've noticed too since Jordan Binnington came on board, and maybe because he was an inexperienced goaltender, but the first 4 or 5 shots of a hockey game are on the outside. The Blues are taking care of the front of the net in a big way. The backside pressure is extraordinary, coming back through the middle of the ice. This is a team now that they've turned a corner, in my opinion. And I think, we get to travel with them, Joe, and we get to see them in different environments. And I think they're a group that's put a lot more care into what's going on out here, and that's why we're seeing some good play. You've got back-to-back nights. You got a situation where Binnington has played well in the last game in Dallas. Tomorrow night it's in Brooklyn against the New York Islanders. I would think with the success of Jake Allen that he's a guy that the coaching staff would be looking for tonight's game. He shut them out a couple of years ago right here.
I think so, too. And I think, we mentioned Jake being really solid on the road and solid against this team earlier this year. I think back on that game a couple weeks ago in St. Louis when the Blues put a thumping on the Capitals. They're down 2-1 in that game. And I remember, I think it was Tom Wilson. He had back-to-back breakaways as the Blues were on the power play. So 2 shorthanded breakaways, and Jake came up big, once with the pad and once with the glove. Those were big, timely saves against a really solid team that kept the Blues in it. And then if you fast forward a little bit, that's where Colton Parayko came down and put that power play goal in to tie it up, and the Blues really never looked back. So I think seeing Jake here tonight would be an incredible call. I think it's the right call, and we'll see if it comes to fruition or not. But I think he's played very well against this team.
We're going to take care of some inventory here, Joe, because they've also recalled Jordan Kyrou, who is going to the American Hockey League All-Star Game, if indeed he's not still up here in the National Hockey League, and Jordan Nolan as well. Jordan. We got a lot of Jordans, huh?
Man, we got a Nolan Stevens down in the minor. It's
Jordan
confusing.
Binnington, Jordan Nolan, Jordan Kyrou.
Nolan Stevens.
Are you going to be okay?
A lot of Nolans, a lot of Jordans.
Are you going to be okay calling the game
I'll be
tonight?
fine. No,
okay.
I usually just stick to the last names.
Okay.
Binnington, Nolan, Kyrou. Look at them go. I leave the name call for Kerber.
Hold on. Look at them go.
They're flying tonight. No, we got a couple big call-ups, and Jordan Kyrou's playing well in the minors, and it's good to see him get a shot. And Nolan Stevens, he's still down the minors. Jordan Nolan, he'll be up here. See, I already got confused. Jordan Nolan, he was the fourth liner when he got called up and
played well. I think
incredible.
He corrected and gave that fourth line identity. But I think right now you can mix and match any one of these players into any specific line combination, and it's working now.
Why is that?
Didn't work earlier because I don't think every player knew their place, nor were they a confident group. And I think when that happens, there's uncertainty, and you end up not playing your best in that role. I think the chemistry is real good right now. I think that when if you've got O'Reilly and David Perron together, which they are, and they've been dynamic together, it almost doesn't matter. No offense to, like, Zach Sanford's on that left, but you could plug anybody on that left side, in my opinion. The top line with Schwartz, Shen, and Tarasenko, I think they're humming right now. They stay together, and I like the way Vladdy's playing on both sides of it as well. But then you go in that third line area. Patty Maroon steps in like he did in the last game. He steps in, and there's no adjustments being made. If it's a Robbie Fabry in, or maybe it's a Jordan Kyrou in, I just think they're better set, and I think it helps that, like, Oscar Sundqvist is taking on a different role. And if you're going to play with Oscar Sundqvist, you better put your work boots on.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a work ethic, and there's a demand or accountability that is right there, and I think that's why everybody can just step in.
I think that, like you mentioned, I think until you have an individual identity, it's very hard to know what the team identity is, because you don't know, like you just mentioned, what an individual can bring you. You put Pat Maroon on a line. If he doesn't know his role, well, then the line around you and the team around you doesn't know how to play to your strengths. So I think what we're starting to see is an individual identity taking place for every single player on this team. So you mentioned the insertion of different players throughout the lineup, and I think we're starting to see the success. And I think play away from the puck has been great as well. I mean, look back at that Dallas game. Yeah, Vladdy got those 2 goals, but what impressed me the most was his back checking. He's burying his head. He's moving those big tree trunk legs. He's getting back to the house, and he's using his stick. And I think when you see
he can fly when he wants to.
Man, when you see the commitment to defense like that too, that usually, on the flip end, that will produce chances and produce goals like we saw in that game.
Joey, I got some nuggets for you here, big guy.
Go.
We got a battle of Russians here in tonight's game in Washington between the St. Louis Blues and the Washington Capitals. Vladdy Tarasenko on a roll, feeling more confident. 7 goals in 9 career games against the Washington Capitals.
Fire.
Those are good numbers.
Fire.
Okay. Alex Ovechkin, on the other hand, 639 goals. He's one shy of the great Dave Andreychuk's 640 goals. How many did you have?
Oh, I think 7. Why you gotta do that to me? I'm just starting to feel confident about myself.
Sorry, big guy.
I'm
Sorry.
fine.
It just seems like a lot of goals when you say it out loud.
It's a lot.
You say it out loud, and then you think, well, Hully's got 741 goals.
Yeah.
And Gretz has got 890. Anyway, it
He's
goes
a
on
shooter.
and on. I mean,
Leading the league again.
It goes on.
He's a shooter.
But you like that matchup. I like the fact that there's some inner competition there as well. I mean, Vladdy's good friends with a lot of these guys, including Orlov, one of his best friends. And when they get out there together between Kuznetsov and Orlov and Barbashev and Vladdy, it seems like there's another competition going on out there.
Yeah, it is. It's a game within the game.
Yeah.
And, you've seen it not just with the Blues, but the Penguins have it too. You looked at sometimes when they'll play the Winnipeg Jets, they have that kind of competition with the Europeans, just the rifling of the pucks and the shooting of pucks. And Vladdy and Ovi, they're the top 2 in the league, in my opinion, as far as those sharp shooters. Just they pick those corners, and then we're starting to see more out of Vladdy's game, and Ovechkin's just been so consistent with it. So it's always fun when you put these two together. I think we expect to see a lot of scoring chances.
Vladdy always plays well against the Blues.
He does.
He does. So it'll be imperative to get that goaltending right off the hop. That one big save that makes sure everybody knows that you're on your toes. Is there a reason why Vladdy, in the last couple of games anyway, even that couple of cutback plays that he had in Dallas, I mean, those are goal scorers. Those are the kind of goals and the kind of shifty movement that we're used to seeing with Vladdy. Earlier in the year, a lot of pucks maybe getting deflected, maybe not as quick getting that release. We talked about the shoulder injury, the surgery, and the recovery process. You're just wondering about the confidence and the timing early on versus right now. It seems now like all those pucks are going to get through.
Yeah, it does. I mean, especially in that game versus Dallas, and you started to see old Vladimir Tarasenko kind of coming out, and that's who we saw years ago and last year for certainly, especially that first half of the season. That quick little outside-inside move, like on that first goal where he'll take on the backhand, go forehand, and it's like snap, it's gone. Before you even know it, before it kind of, I even realized it went in, and Bishop's kind of looking like, where did that puck go?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how he does it. And I think why he's so good and why he scores so many goals, it's not necessarily where he puts the puck. It's not the speed of the shot. It's the quickness of the release. And that's something that you try to teach kids too. It's the puck's on your blade, and how quickly do you snap it off that blade. And I think Vladdy does it probably better than anyone in the league.
Yeah, no question about that. I'd have a hard time stopping it.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would.
No offense.
None taken. See, I think you owed me that after I asked about the goals.
Well, he better not go to your glove side.
No,
you
don't
will
go to the
snatch
glove side.
that
Yeah,
up.
that's not going to happen, Vladdy.
That's not.
No, that won't happen. Radio side, it's 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock game.
Yep.
You're going to be with Chris Kerber, and if you focus in, way behind us, there's only one person in the stands over there. And I think that's your partner, Chris Kerber, right over there, isn't it?
Hard at work.
Trevor Nickerson getting that shot right there. Yeah, he's hard at work. That's the play-by-play voice tonight on KMOX. That 50,000-watt blowtorch, Joe Vitale, and always fun coming here. We've got a back-to-backer tomorrow night. We got to buckle up. We got to get the win here. 3 wins in a row, 4th win in a row on the road.
On the road.
Grabbing the 500 number, feeling good about themselves, seeing them climb the ladder.
Get there.
I think as a broadcaster, it's very important that we bring our A+ game.
We're going tonight.
Okay, we have got to bring it to the people tonight.
We need a nap.
Okay, that's possible.
We definitely need a nap, and then we'll
yeah.
regroup. We'll get here, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, same thing. 5:30 pregame show on your flagship station. It's called Fox Sports Midwest on the television side, where Bernie Federico and Scotty Warman will have that. And at 6 o'clock Central Time, that's when the puck drop's going to begin. That's when John Kelly and I have the call on the TV side, and Joe and Curbs have got it on the radio side. So hopefully you're going to have a really fine day. Right, Joe?
Yeah, I think snow's starting to melt in St. Louis. So
it is, but it's good here, though.
It's great here.
I think we should go for a little walk afterwards.
Let's go for a walk.
Sounds good. So for Joe Vitale, I'm Darren Pang. Enjoy the game tonight, everybody. We certainly will.